welcome to episode 179 of Anime and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Shawn.
And this is the review show that reviews anime from A to Z. Sort of.
Alright, guys. So I picked, for my pick at the end of the wheel, Hajime no Ippo. It's a Japanese boxing-themed manga series written and illustrated by George Morikawa. It's been serialized by Kodansha and the Shonen manga magazine, blah, 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 since 89, and it's still being released. So much like Berserk, much like One Piece, it just goes and goes and goes.
Goes for on and on and on.
You know what? I don't think every anime or manga can be that.
Right.
I really don't think they can. But the ones that do it, they're still doing it for a reason. There's a following.
Well, this is not a hard one to do. Because this is like, what's it called? Initial D?
Yeah, right? Like there's a race. And then they win or lose. And then there's another race. And he has a fight. And he wins or he loses. And then, there's another fight. I gotta get ready for that.
And in between, they change and strategize and get stronger and stuff like that.
It's a more simplistic version of your shonen.
Yeah, it's a sports shonen, essentially. Mm-hmm.
But it's a good sports shonen because it's a fighting combat sport, not tennis. Although, Baby Steps is really good. You should watch that.
I'm comparing this to Initial D because it's almost the same except, boxing's more interesting than stupid card racing.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess before we go any further, you want to do the premise?
I did the premise last week, but we'll do it. What's his name? Ippo. Hajime. Ippo. What is his name? It's Ippo something else.
Makanauchi.
Yeah. Is it even Ippo? We're going to take a minute here. We'll find his name.
Well, I don't know why.
Maybe not.
I don't know why you're scrolling down there.
Because usually there's characters or something.
Go up. Just read the first line of the plot.
Oh, Ippo is his first name.
Yeah.
Makunouchi.
Makanauchi.
Is a shy high schooler, small frame, and he's getting beat up. And then
that cover art that we're seeing on the thing is very misleading for how he's actually built.
Except for the first episode.
Is it?
Very early, especially in the anime, yes, but not as much as in the manga.
Okay.
And I think that's kind of where the cover art comes from. He's more scrawny, and in the first couple episodes, he has power, but it's because it's coming from his lower frame, I believe. Because he's squatting to pick up fishing equipment and stuff.
I gotcha. I was just because in the anime, it's not that he's
immediately bricked up and.
Yeah, but he's got wide shoulders.
Yeah.
He's just naturally built that way, rather than I'm not saying that he has he has muscles because of all the stupid fishing, the fishing stuff up until that point. Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
So he's getting beat up by local bullies, and he's scared and kind of meekish. And then Takamura, his soon-to-be friend, fights off the bullies, saves him. And I think Ippo's out cold, and he wakes up at the boxing gym.
No. He's he gets saved by him, and then he's like, "Ooh, how are you so strong?" And he's like, "Boxing." Mm-hmm. And then
kind of blows him off a little.
And then he goes to the tree.
They didn't immediately go to the tree.
No, they did.
There was a break.
Oh, okay.
And then he came back to him and said, "Hey, train me." And he was you need to do this first because you're kind of worthless at the moment.
Yeah, but he wasn't knocked out.
Okay.
I don't think so. I could be wrong though. It's been a while.
Beats me. But then he does the tree thing where Takamura punches the tree and snatches up I think it was 10 or 20 leaves between two hands. And he says, "You have to do this in a week. And if you don't do it in a week, I won't train you."
Okay, hold on. One day when the bullies gave him a rather serious beat, a middleweight professional boxer who was passing by stopped him and took the injured Ippo to the gym.
Oh, so injured enough. Right. Anyway, so Ippo then spends a week punching the tree to shake the leaves off and then tries to catch him with his fist. Mm-hmm. He ends up catching all 10 or 20, whichever it was, with one fist. And Takamura's like, "Shit, I didn't know you do it with one hand."
Yeah, right.
And then he starts training. And essentially the show is just Ippo training to train because he wants to be stronger at first to gain confidence. Mm-hmm. And then eventually he learns to really like it, has some matches, likes it some more. Right. And then he starts aspiring to be a champion.
So this show is really good.
It's got flaws.
But it's
easy to watch, which is good.
It is predictable though.
Yeah, for the most part, what happens is there's a new opponent. He's got a special move.
Yeah.
Ippo has to learn how to counter that special move. Whether it's with a proper counter punch, or it's with creating a new punch, or creating, a new way to attack of some kind. that's the show.
That is the entire show.
It does get to the point where he starts chaining everything together.
Right.
And I think I saw that in the last fight for the rookie championship of all of Japan. He was doing one thing, then he was doing the other, then he was kind of mixing it up a bit. But much later on, he starts really mixing it up.
Yeah, but I'm not even talking about just Ippo. Like, even in the rookie tournament that you were just talking about, I knew that, I forget his name, his rival.
Miyata.
I knew he was going to lose in the semifinals.
Yeah, well, only because the guy he was up against was so menacing.
And
it's not like he was a generically drawn character.
He was not only menacing, but he was established like 14 episodes earlier. Yeah. And it was just like, and he's in the tournament. We haven't seen anything with him. So, of course, he's going to lose to him. And then, so.
But that also creates things later on, like maybe Otta comes back sometime later on.
And I'm not saying, I'm not even saying it's bad. It's formulaic, is what I'm saying. And it's very predictable. And as good as the show is, I feel like if you watch like 10 or 12 episodes, you don't really need to watch the rest of it because you got a feel for what the show is.
I think you're right.
But
it's so good. It's like you just keep watching it.
Yeah, like I said, I watched 40 episodes. I really like the show, but I also like, it's nostalgic almost from Rocky.
It does feel nostalgic, doesn't it?
Watching Rocky and stuff with
and
kids
nostalgic for just what a shonen is.
Yeah, and
it's a classic formula.
But like, yeah, classic shonen from like watching Dragon Ball as a kid, and then watching Rocky.
It's like you've never seen it, but it feels familiar.
Yeah, and then you combine everything together, and it's just like, oh, okay, this is just one of those shows. But like.
It probably wasn't made for 34 or 5-year-old men, but like it feels like it was.
Yeah, almost. But at the same time, it is. I lost my train of thought.
It's got that formulaic structure where you kind of know what's gonna happen, but it's fairly well drawn. Specifically because like drawing people walking, drawing people throwing punches, dodging. These are things that aren't typically done in animation. Right. Even walking. Like, typically when people walk away, it's waist up.
That's true.
Until recently.
Right.
Very recently. The past 10 years or so.
When was the anime come out? 2002?
2000.
2000?
Yeah.
Okay. The humor in this is very 2000.
But it was written in 89.
Yeah, that's true,
so
too.
The humor was even older than that.
Yeah, it's very...
Oh, he's got a large dick.
Yeah.
It's funny.
It's so juvenile, dude.
It's funny, though. You're smiling while you're trying to criticize it.
It is, though. Like, there's a lot of...
It's for males.
Oh, yeah.
It's a comedy for males.
There's a bunch of... There's some homophobic slurs in there at times. A little. It's just, it was definitely made in the 80s. Let's just put that out there right now. So, and then there's kind of a romance in the beginning of this.
With
the menacing guy's sister. And then she just vanishes.
I think it's a thing later on.
Okay.
I vaguely remember that. But, because I haven't read it in so long. It's been almost 10 years since I read it. But I think much like this, what's the other one? There's a couple other, most shonens, honestly, where there's a female interest, but it's only just kind of barely there. You know, it's not really, it's not like Goku marries Chi-Chi.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But like, my whole, that's not my point. My point is like...
It's just there, but like, that's a formula. That's a thing that they do is what I'm kind of trying to say. She's there, but then she's not there, but she's there and she's not there.
Alright.
It's like they're trying to give the impression that this is a complete show, and it's kind of not.
Right. Because it's like, she was like throughout, even just in the background at times, this character. And
like
then,
he'd be jogging, and she'd pass by on a bike.
And then
which, by the way, I think is really well done if you're going to have a love story later on.
Right.
So that's kind of how things can naturally form.
Right, no, and I agree with you. It's just, she was just prominent up until the rookie championship, and then after that, I'm like 10 or 15 episodes past that, and she's just vanished off the same face of the earth. And I don't think
she wants to go work at her brother's company that he works at. She's a receptionist there. That they gave a reason for it.
No, but like, she's not out of town.
No, but maybe she doesn't need to travel the same way to work anymore, and now they don't cross paths.
That's fair.
But I do think, like, I'm pretty sure it comes back up at some point.
Yeah, it was just the way they ended it with her.
It was abrupt.
It was just abrupt and out of nowhere. I was just like, that was weird.
Yeah, I as I was watching, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was going to run up and catch up to her, but then he didn't.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was just
It was an odd drop-off. Yeah. But again, probably picks up later on. Kind of hard to rate it on that, since you haven't seen it.
I wasn't judging it. I just thought it was a note that popped into my head. It was like,
well, hard for us to rate it when we haven't seen it, so all we can rate is what we've seen, and it does drop off.
That's true. Yeah.
It's fun, though. Ippo's a fun character, trying to get stronger. A little bullheaded.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, it's just like, he fights a person, he doesn't lose, he gets in the tournament, he wins the tournament.
But it's fun though. You watch more than me.
I know, I'm not saying that it's not fun, though, but I'm just trying to explain to the people out there that it isn't, it's a sports anime, like, and honestly, if it wasn't boxing, and if it was something like tennis, like you're saying, I might not have been as interested in it.
Yeah.
You know? So...
And it's funny is, did we watch Baby Steps, the anime?
No.
I read that, and I watched the anime. The anime is not that great. The manga's really good. But it's the same formula. He's a tennis player.
Right.
And the whole idea is he's baby steps into long strides, so he trains, gets a little bit stronger, and then bam, he's a lot stronger, whatever. But the formula is the same where he's got a new opponent, but they've got a special move. Well, how does he counter it? It's the same formula, but it's done well enough that I really enjoyed it.
Right. Actually, I find it more interesting when we get the other guys than when they're in matches, because they do show the other, like, what's his name, the champion. He goes in and just kicks everyone in the ass in 3 seconds. Now he's like the middleweight champion up to
Takamura.
Yeah. And then I just recently got through a couple episodes where the other two above Ippo but below him in the gym, they were in a tournament to get together, and they're like grade A tournament or whatever, and they both lost. So it was interesting. So I don't know.
It's fun. There's not much to not like.
Right.
But it's not a 10.
No, it's basic.
It's above basic because it's enjoyable.
No, I'm saying basic in its design.
Okay. Oh, real quick. The animation is very high level because of the whole stance and walking and all that. I didn't really get into that too much. Just wanted to prick that. The music is okay.
I actually like the music because
it works for the whole fighting montage type stuff.
I like the music in the beginning because it had this weird kind of almost Outlaw Star music to it.
Yeah.
Then I was really, but then it just stopped. So
like a new season starts and it's new music or whatever, but it's the same season. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I did like the music at first, and then I realized like the last 20 or so episodes, the music has been like meh.
Sometimes they bring that stuff back. Like One Piece does that a lot. Voice acting was pretty good, especially considering how old it is.
Yeah. Voice acting was, fairly
at least adequate.
Yeah. They're all
good.
Sexist guys, It
was funny. The classic tropes of, like, Takamura's room's a giant mess.
He's got a
porn mags.
He's got a closet full of porn mags. He has his championship belts actually buried in there, apparently.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to have more to talk about this one, but apparently not.
I'll say the training aspect is pretty similar to what I find in martial arts gyms. Mm-hmm. They nailed a lot of that, where everyone's trying to help each other out and build on each other, but you're still ripping on each other. It's a very pro-male, but in a healthy way atmosphere.
Right.
Masculinity. But again, in a healthy way, not in a bad way. And that's kind of, unless you're in a bad gym, which they're there, they exist, but like that's where you want to be if you're training at a place. Whether it's boxing, whether it's Muay Thai, whether it's jiu-jitsu, whatever it is.
I will say, whoever the writer is on this, I don't know if he mentioned who it was, but
I said his name.
Really got into boxing.
Yeah, like he knows. Now, here's one thing I wanted to say. A lot of the stuff that we see is real. Like, these are real boxing moves that happen. And then things like the flicker jab, far as I can tell, don't exist.
Right.
So it's really cool, and it's grounded, and it's like, okay, maybe that could work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe that could be a thing.
It's got its shonen
so it's
issues.
Not too far out-fetched.
Right.
You know?
It's still a punch. It's just going at superhuman speed.
Yeah, and it's coming at weird angles that don't really land in power.
But like you could tell the guy really liked boxing because there is like Ippo uses Mike Tyson's the peekaboo
peekaboo,
and then he fights a guy who is pretty much Rocky Balboa, even though he wants to be Rocky Marciano. So you could tell there's a lot of passion behind it, and I can see why people really got into it, even though it's not as popular as you might think it would be.
Yeah. I mean, it's popular in the sense of, like, it keeps coming out with more seasons and movies and stuff, I mean, but obviously, it's not Dragon Ball Z. It's not, an idol show.
Like, I didn't, when you told me this is what we're watching, I was like, I don't even know what that is. So, and then I was looking at it, what the hell are you going to make me watch it? And I started watching it, I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
one last thing. So I'm watching this, and somehow Google got a hold of the algorithm off my Google search for the phone to like watch episodes on. So Instagram, not Google. I'm on Instagram.
Okay.
And I've never searched Ippo on Instagram, and I'm constantly finding like videos and montages out of nowhere about Ippo. And it's great. They're fun. And the only thing that's connecting it is YouTube, because that's where I watched it. Because all the episodes are on YouTube. Literally all of them.
Well, isn't YouTube owned by Instagram or something like that?
That's Facebook. Google and Facebook are different.
Oh, okay.
Because Facebook owns Instagram. So, but like, I'm sure they, share information. I just thought it was funny. That because I'm searching YouTube, it went to Instagram.
Yeah, that is interesting. I guess, anything else to say?
Nah, it was good. I'll give it, honestly, maybe I'm biased, but I guess it's kind of the point of this. It's an 8 for me. 8.5.
I think I'm more at a 7, but,
it's good. I could keep watching it. Like, I could go put it on right now, and I'd be happy to watch it.
Yeah. I might finish it on my own, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I am interested, because I know I watched this before, but I'm interested to see the second season, which is years later in our time, real time. It's, immediately for the manga.
Oh, okay.
For the story. But years later, they picked up the second season. It wasn't immediate. So it would be fun to watch it with a new studio or a current studio, even if it's the same studio.
Right.
You know what I mean? Current, tactics for drawing and all that. So that could be fun. That's it.
All right. I guess with that...
What are we doing?
Oh, right. It's my pick. I'm going to continue on my theme. We're going to do episodes 13 through 24 of Samurai Jack. Because we did 1 through 12 last time, and that's what I seem to do.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
All right, guys. See ya.
Bye.